All right, guys, this is Beard of Darkness Book Reviews, and I am here with, for the third time this time, a wonderful guest, HC Newell. How are you tonight? In Nashville,
I'm
Tennessee, right?
Yep, I'm good. I'm so
Awesome.
excited. I need the
I am too.
distraction.
Uh, so it's 9 o'clock there, or is it eight?
It's 8.
8. So it's a little earlier for you. And then of course we've got like Charlie in here, EC Greaves, where it's us like right in the middle of the day for them. So we're all over the place already. I think there was like 18 people waiting just for us to start. So that's really cool, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. Well, they're excited about your book, so let's talk about that. First, just go through the first 3 books, 1, 2, 3, and kind of give us the overview.
Okay. Oh goodness. I should have prepared for this. Okay, so my books are dark fantasy, and it's more along the lines of like dark and epic fantasy, I guess. The people in the chat can kind of tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. But
My
it's
wife
more.
agrees.
Hmm?
My wife agrees with those statements.
Okay, good.
Yep.
It's kind of got like a grander dark versus light, but with darker themes. Is kind of how I like to describe it. In book 1, we follow Nyn'Dira. It is a single point of view throughout the whole thing. It's just meant to introduce you to the world and the characters and their motivations. She is tracked by a religious regime, I guess, called the Order of Sorrow, who view anyone with magic as demonic. So they need to eradicate them. And I don't actually think I explained this in the book, but they test everyone when they're a newborn. They test their blood. And if you have magical blood, you're kind of. So she escaped. Her parents escaped with her, and she's been on the run ever since. So her entire life. But anytime she uses her magic, the order can track her, so she can't use it. She has to, hold it all in. So it's just about her trying to find a cure for that curse in book 1. And then in book 2, she finds herself in the desert. I will show you a map. By the way, everybody, I sold awesome. My last copy of Shadows, so I don't have one to show you.
She did this last time, guys, if you don't remember. She didn't have a copy then either. I mean, I don't know what's going on here.
I've got plenty of the first and second book.
There you go.
But here's a beautiful map, and I actually have an interactive map on my website, so you should go to it and see it. It's really cool.
I'll put that up in the bottom here in a second.
It's really high quality. It's awesome. So definitely check it out. But so in book 1, they are over here. And then in book 2, she's over here in the desert. And she teams up with another sorceress who is an elvish or avish sorceress named Ayla. And Ayla is kind of viewed as like a sorceress of light. The non-humans revere her as a savior, while Nyn'Dira is viewed as a demon for her magic. So there's like a light versus dark sort of thing going on between them in a way. And you learn obviously more about that, what it means, how much weight it holds to them and the story and their motivations. But there's dual points of view that's introduced in book 2. We follow Ayla and we follow Nyn'Dira, and then we follow some of the side characters. If they veer off of the path of the main characters, we'll follow them, and then it kind of comes back. And then in book 3, we are in the forests of Nyn'Dira, and that is the Elvish forest. Y'all, I'm in love with elves. I wish I could be an elf.
We were just watching Lord of the Rings before we started this, me and my family, till I fell asleep. So we're always watching that at night. I think it's just like this go-to thing, and I think it's because of our love for elves.
Yes, and Lord of the Rings is just so cozy. I don't know what
it is.
It's just that classic fantasy. I don't know. You have to just relax when you watch it, even though there's wars and stuff.
Yeah, it's still like that. Like you see Treebeard, and you're just like everything's gonna be okay.
Yes.
And then Smaug. We're watching The Hobbit right now, so it's like Smaug goes down, and you're like, okay, everything's gonna be okay, and then it's not. Yeah. But we reach the end, and it's all good. Thank you, Chris, for popping in here. I want to say hello to Chris.
Yes, hi, Chris.
Charlie, it's not a party without you. I said that right there. Jay Schwab, thank you for showing up. Just shouting out. Of course, Book Mama 87. Let's see here. Benjamin Parte, he says.
I'm the party bard.
And John Douglas, and there's so many more. But we'll get back to the rest of you here in a minute. So when was Shadow of Nyn'Dira, I hope I'm saying that right, released?
Yeah, Shadows of Nyn'Dira. It was released on Halloween. I try to release my books on important days in my life. So book 1 was released on my husband's 30th birthday. Book 2 was released on my nephew's birthday, the day he was born. Book 3 was supposed to be released on September 30th, or not book 3, The Banished, the novella The Banished was supposed to be released on September 30th, which is my dad's birthday. It is wild in here. It was wild
Tim,
in
my
my
dude.
hair. I keep talking about how frizzy my hair is. I keep looking at it.
I couldn't get mine to lay flat either.
Look at me complaining about my hair. I'll give
Yeah, at least you have some.
I'm doing this on purpose. So it was supposed to be on the 30th of September, which is my dad's birthday, but I had to push it back, and I released The Vanished last year on Halloween. And then, hey, David!
Yes, thank you, David, for popping in. This I've actually talked to David a couple times. I haven't seen him yet in the chat, and I'm so glad you're here, brother.
Yes, thank you for coming. All my peoples are here.
Yeah,
hey, go!
Yes, thank you for being here, Matt. Matt's a regular over here at Bookness of Darkness, Beard of Darkness. Sorry,
Bookness of Beardness.
Bookness of Beardness. Yes. So since your release, how have things been going? I see a lot of hype. I see a lot of 5 stars. How does that feel? There's a bunch, dude. There's like that picture you put up on Instagram and all over the place. And I was talking to my wife, and look, she is absolutely. This is the first fantasy book that she's ever read, and I've been trying to convert her for quite some time, and you've done it. That's a compliment.
That's so awesome. She has been messaging me, and she's just been like, "You got something so big here." Like she's, oh my gosh, I'm just gushing over here. I'm like, my head's gonna get so big. But it's insane. I kind of hoped, Josh is my bro.
Bros in here. There's some bros.
Yes, he usually shows up right at the end.
That's my guy. We had such a lovely talk. I love Joshua. He's so like just the most genuine person I think I've ever talked to in my whole entire life.
I literally just told him that the other day. I did not, Josh. Like I really did. We were messaging each other, and I was like, Josh, you're so easy and so approachable to talk to. Like you're so easy to get along with.
And he's got such a beautiful dog.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Nazgul.
Yes, Nazgul. Yes.
Yeah, he sent me a picture like the day that he got him, or the day before he was going to get him, and I'm just like, I want him right now.
The eyes are just like piercing blue.
Love it. I don't believe it. It's photoshopped.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's so. You have to post pictures now. Everybody wants to see. I know that they do.
100.
And then so the release of book 3 has been insane, and I kind of was hoping for this. I can't really wrap my mind around it because it's really insane. I keep getting distracted by other people.
It happens. Try to do this as you're talking to somebody. I'm trying to get better at it, but I still miss so much. It's me. Yeah.
I want to talk to everybody, but I want to answer your questions.
Yeah.
It's really good that I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat right now, just so you guys know, because
I was
talking to everybody.
I'll pop up the good ones. They're all good, but you know.
Yeah. But I was hoping by book 3, everybody would kind of see that there's a method to my madness. Like there's a reason that book 1 is so fast paced. There's a reason that book 2 is so fast paced. And I like to consider them more as prequels. And I've always kind of said that. They're really just meant to get you into the story, get you acquainted with the characters, the world, just kind of introduce you to everything so that books 3 through 6 can just already have a world and a foundation. So you don't need all of this world building. You don't need all that exposition. You're going to know it, and you're going to be a little more invested in the motivations of the characters because you already know them kind of before the story starts in a way, because it really gets really deep and you learn a lot about the characters. You learn a lot about the world, the magic. So I really was not expecting this kind of reaction, but I was thinking, and I always said by book 3, I think my series is really going to like have a foothold. So I've just kind of been waiting patiently because I knew once we got to book 3, if people made it that far, like they would see there's a reason why I'm doing the things that I'm doing.
No, that's awesome. So that takes a lot of planning. You're obviously an outliner. Am I guessing right?
Not really. I mean,
okay. So are you a pantser?
So I have the end of all of the books already planned out. Like I know how
Mm,
it's going to end. I know how the series is going to end. So I'm working toward that goal, but I don't have any of the books really planned out. Like I kind of have a general idea of what's going to happen and the path that needs to be taken,
that makes
but I
perfect
don't plan
sense.
out. Yeah, I don't plan because I know I tried planning out the whole series, but when I wrote book one, everything just changed, and I took 10 years writing it because I just changed everything and nothing was planned, and I tried to reach the plans that I had, and it just wasn't working. And
Yeah.
then when I got to book two, I had a plan for it, but everything changed so much because I'm working in all the foreshadowing and everything.
Timothy Wolfen,
Yeah, so I'm
you
kind of a little bit of both, but I'm mostly a pantser for sure. I do outline in very much detail, but then I just kind of use that as a roadmap in a way so that I kind of know which path to take, but I just let the story kind of unfold how it's supposed to.
no, I think the best books come from that. Just from talking to people, they're those who aren't like hard outliners. Not that they don't write wonderful stories, but as far as like the writing goes, I feel like if you just have kind of a general idea where you're going, they seem to have a better experience writing it at least.
Oh yeah. Well,
That just
it's because oh, I'm sorry.
no, please, it lags. I don't mean to interrupt you.
It helps me because I see the when I'm writing, it just comes out like a movie in my head. And that's why I can't really force myself to write. If I'm not in it, you can tell the writing suffers. So
Hmm.
I just have to really be in a good creative headspace and the story just flows and it just flows and flows and flows and sometimes I'll get kind of stuck or I'm like I don't like that. So I'll go back to my outline and I kind of remind myself, okay, this is what they have to do now. So then I try to like veer the story back onto that path, but I can't write with hardcore rules like this has to happen, that has to happen. Because then I'm writing
Have you?
for something. I'm not just letting it write itself, basically.
No, that makes perfect sense. I love hearing all sorts of different ways that people write. It's very, that's what I'm here for. I want to write my own story. And when I do so, when I started the first time before I had a channel, I knew I was very unequipped with the tools that I needed. Um, I never dreamt of really being where I am now, like just talking to people almost every day, like, and gaining the experience that you guys have as my knowledge. And hopefully, that'll help me. But I never really planned for that. Alex says, and real quick, I want to make sure Philip Chase has stopped by to say congratulations. What
Hi,
a wonderful
Philip.
guy.
Thank you. I've seen your books everywhere. Eden books, right? Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
Eden. Yep.
Okay,
I
okay.
actually
I'm
talked to
like, oh
Philip
no,
last
I'm
night.
gonna shove my
Philip,
foot in my mouth right
no. You got it right.
now. Okay,
Yeah, wonderful guy. I talked to him last night on the channel. I believe it was nice. Yeah, last night. It was such a great conversation. He is the gentleman of fantasy.
I need to
I
go
can't
on.
say
I want to
enough.
make you go to that one. I'm
Um,
definitely.
I so back to Alex Luco. He says, "Do you hear your characters' voices in your head while you're writing, or am I weird?"
Okay. Well, Alex, we're all a little weird. So yes.
Exactly.
I'm gonna answer that with a big fat yes, you are weird. And that's okay. But no. I do actually have voices for my characters in my head. And it's so funny. I'm actually kind of glad he brought this up because somebody told me they think that some of the dialogue is cheesy in book three, which is fine. Like you can think that. But
Sure.
whenever I told them that one of my characters, his name is Yevon, he kind of talks like a caveman because
Hmm.
he speaks. He's like an orcish like D&D
Me,
orc.
man, me like this, that kind of
Kind of.
deal.
He's got a very gruff, very broken English voice. So
Love
he
it.
doesn't say like me, but like, so he's not like me hungry, but he's like,
Yeah, me
I don't
hungry.
know. He's like, Ayla is savior. We must protect, stuff
So
like
kind of like the character, one of my favorite, Loyal from Wheel of Time, maybe.
that. Sure.
Okay.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, Loyal is very much that, but he's my favorite character in the whole series. So,
Yeah, he's
uh,
got very broken English, and I try to kind of get that to come across, but obviously, what it's funny because there's a lot of people like you'll see stuff like authors should do this and authors should do that, and I wish authors would do this. So a lot of people say I wish that people wouldn't write fantasy with just English accents. Like there's other accents, there's other people, and literally the only person in my book that has an English accent is Near, and everybody hears every voice as English, and I'm like, no,
every
nobody's
time
English.
I'm reading a book, like it is not in my head unless it is in a British or English accent 100%.
Yes, and it's like that's what, and I told her that I was like, okay, because she sent me because I asked her what she thought was cheesy because I don't want cheesy dialogue, so I just asked her if she could send it to me, and she did. And I was like, I didn't think it was cheesy. And I was like, well, he does. I could see how she could think it. And I was like, he does have a caveman voice. And she was like, oh my God, well, that makes a lot more sense why he would say these things like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to put like a disclaimer in my book. Go to these links because these are the people I'd listen to when I did dialogue. Because I actually research voices and I have them saved on YouTube. So like Lagertha, for example, from Vikings is Ayla's voice, except Ayla is a little bit like higher pitch.
Yeah.
But like whenever I can get the voice right, the dialogue just flows in the way that person would say it with their accent. So like, I don't know. I
think it's one of those things that as you're listening to what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense. And it also makes sense. It's hard to say that, like, just like when I'm reading, I don't know. I thought that maybe I was a little weird when it's not in my voice. It's in a completely different voice. Sometimes it's a woman's voice. It's a man's voice. Sometimes it's in a really hard accent. Sometimes it just depends on like the dialogue or like the content in the book. So thank you for stopping in, Kevin.
Really thank you.
I want to get back up to this question. So Charlie asked a great question. In fact, such a great question. I can cross one off my list. How many books will there be in the end?
Okay. So I wanted to say something about the accents again because I'm really.
Oh yes, please.
I'm a stickler for my accents, people. I worked really hard to get this dialogue right.
Yes.
The elves are Nordic. They are not Lord of the Rings elves. Stop reading them with those voices. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna come after y'all. Everybody reads them like Lord of the Rings elves, and they're not.
So Nordic is me and my wife have really gotten into that because I found out a lot about my ancestry, and they're straight from Denmark. So I get to look up all that kind of history, and I know that's part of mine. So I really appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah, like Avalok, his voice is Ragnar's voice from the show Vikings. Literally everybody from Vikings, their voices are in my books. So.
I agree.
Okay, sorry. I just had to get on to everybody for a second.
You had to tell them what was up. I did.
We're gonna clip that. We're gonna repeat it. I'm gonna put it on my website.
We're gonna repeat that whole thing. I'm gonna drop a video. It's just be all that right there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so there will be 6 books in the main series. And I actually do have these listed out in the paperbacks and on the ebooks. So anybody that is curious about the reading order, or if you're curious about how many books, it is listed right here in the front.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Which ones aren't. So there will be 6 books in the main series and then 3 corresponding novellas. The next novella is going to be Ayla's prequel, and it is going to be between book 4 and 5. And then Nyr's prequel is going to be between 5 and 6. So I do actually have, I'll send you the link so you can post it on the YouTube video if you want to, but I do have a beginner's or a reader's guide to my series, and it answers a lot of these questions that I get, which is the reading order, how many books.
You said you have a video of that you put together?
Not a video, it's a guest post on Epic.
Okay. Yeah, I would absolutely repost that.
So it's really helpful for anybody who has or hasn't read the books. Like if you're just going into it and you kind of want to know how to read or how to, approach my series. It has the reading order for your first time read through, and then it has the reading order for the second read through because it does change. So
okay, yeah, that's super helpful.
So yeah, that's really helpful. I definitely wanted to do that. So because I get a lot of questions about my series. So like even with the footnotes and stuff, I explain those and what they are, and it's not a very long thing, but it is something just to kind of help people out a little bit, I guess.
So 6 books will be what you have in the series, which is the Fallen Light series.
Yep.
I really like the names too. It's funny, I keep bringing this up, but my wife's been talking to me while she's reading, and she gets to discover Nyn'Dira, and she's like, "Oh, I can't wait! The whole 3rd book is called that." Like she's really enjoying the forest. So, I told her not to spoil it for me, by the way, and she's having a really hard time with it, but we'll get through it. Yes, exactly. I'm excited.
Can't believe you're hosting my launch party and you haven't even read a single book.
I know, right? Well, I just know that there's a lot to look forward to. I've seen a lot of buzz about it, and I'm happy to do it, 100%.
Yeah. So
Thank
yeah,
you for.
6. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna shout out Caden. Caden Love, he's in the chat.
Hayden, my
I really,
love.
yes, I appreciate you being here, brother. And Charlie says he loves the footnotes.
Thank you. I actually I got feedback from the BBNYA awards because I asked them to send me the feedback, and one of the judges, she said, or he or she, I don't know who it was, they said that I didn't use the footnotes right because I put stuff in the footnotes that I could have put in the book. I'm like, isn't that the point of footnotes to not put it in the exposition? Because all of my footnotes can be skipped. So if you don't want to read them, you don't have to, which is why they are footnotes.
So what is the story with your footnotes? I'm not very familiar with footnotes in fantasy books. Of course, like I said many times on here, I've been reading fantasy for 4 years, so not very long. So would you tell us the reason for those for your books?
I don't like a lot of exposition. I like to kind of just tell you. I like to tell you kind of what you need to know and experience it through the eyes of the character. So if Nyn'Dira doesn't know something, there wouldn't be a reason for it to be in the exposition. So I would put that as a footnote. So you can still have the lore of whatever she's talking about, even if it doesn't particularly fit because she wouldn't know it.
That makes perfect sense. Like I said, I'm not very experienced with footnotes, but that seems like a very useful use of those. As somebody who, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It does. I think I've only talked to one other person who does footnotes. So,
yeah, not very
if you can pull it off.
Well, in the first book, I use it mostly for world building purposes. I know I don't read a lot, but when I do read, I don't read footnotes. So if it was important information, it needs to be in the exposition. And so I just put extra stuff. Hi, Chris. Chris is my #1 fan.
Number one in the building, a fictional escapist just jumping in to say good day and happy lunch. I'm guessing he's from Australia.
And he's
man, look at that.
I know. Oh my!
Look at the dialogue.
I'm so
yes, they're here. They're able to be here. Like the UK, they'd have to be real dedicated to be up at this time of night. You know what I mean?
I keep trying to get Nyn'Dira on, but he won't get up.
Yeah, I can't wait to speak with him. Quinn Gieri. I really hope I'm not butchering
Quinn. I need you to pronounce your last name for me, for real. Yeah. I just think of Quagmire. I don't know why. I think it's just a QOU, and then I don't know. Yeah, I just think Quinn Quagmire.
I can't even do it really that fast. I don't know how the character does it that fast. It's ridiculous. But he says, ask HC about her zombies, so I have to. What's up with zombies?
There are zombies.
Okay. We're getting some information, guys. Not all of it. Just there are zombies. That's it.
I mean, you learn more about them. I don't want to spoil anything.
Please don't. I would be so mad at you.
A lot of people are kind of turned away. I have a lot of different stuff. Yeah, there you go. Giggity giggity. I can't even remember what we're talking about.
No, we were just talking about how many books were going to be in your in the series, and then we went off on this crazy tangent. It's what happens. It's natural.
So 6 books in the main series and 3 novellas. Oh yeah, we're talking about footnotes. That's it.
Footnotes. That's it. Yeah.
So in the first book, the footnotes are just lore. It's just world building stuff. I could work it into the exposition, but it feels info dumpy, and it didn't really, to me. Don't do that. She don't talk like this, y'all. Please.
She's in Tennessee, guys. If you don't know, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, right?
Yes.
The guitar, country twang. I love it, by the way. I am not talking down. I love country music. But the heart of it's where she lives.
Y'all, everybody loves my accent, and I actually haven't worked to not have one, and apparently I still have one. I used to work at a call center, and whenever we would mute people or when we would put them on hold, we could still hear them talking. So I would put her, so I would have to I'd put myself on hold or whatever to look something up. And I remember
Charlie just driving home for him. He's got that country accent now. Hey,
did I not just tell y'all? What did I just tell y'all?
Hey, look at that, Matt. I knew he would. I think he posted about your books not too long ago, maybe yesterday. Yes. And Matt, I don't know how you do it because you've got kids too, brother, but you get to some books, my friend. He is a constant reader, and
It's awesome.
Well, I long to be. I told my wife, I was like, I wish I could just sit down for an hour, just an hour. But look, with 4 kids that are under 5, it's just not possible, guys. But I'm still reading some at nighttime when the kids are asleep. That's my time. Anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah. Let's see. Don't feel bad. We have country accents in New York too, and they're a lot harder to listen to. Okay, that's a different sound. I don't know if I've heard that.
I don't know.
The New York country.
I went to Montana and they have like southern Montana accents, and you can definitely tell it's like got a twang to it. It's really interesting.
Georgia's where I've experienced the
I'm
most
from Georgia,
pleasant,
so
the most pleasant. Y'all want sweet tea? It's like, yes, I do. In fact, now that you say it like that, so
Yeah.
it's nice. So you're in Tennessee. We've got that talked about.
Music City, baby.
Yes, Music City. Exactly. I couldn't remember the name that they call it. Our city, but Music City. Yes, my sister lives close. She's on the near Fort Bragg. My brother-in-law's in the army. He's actually in Poland right now.
Oh,
so they live close. Anywho, what would be a subgenre you would classify your books in?
I guess dark fantasy, epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, that kind of thing.
Nice. I love that, and I know so many people love that too. I hear there is a giveaway.
Oh yeah.
All right, so tell us the deets, if you will.
Okay. So there were 2 giveaways. One of them was if you share that you have. What are you laughing at?
Sorry. John, this comment right here, more like beard of baby making.
Oh my
I couldn't help
God.
myself. That's yeah. I have
That's
lots
funny.
of babies, guys. I have 4, so it is.
And they're
what it
all
is.
under
Sorry.
4 years old, just so you know. I asked him about this.
Yep,
His
we're
wife
done.
is a saint.
My wife is a gangster. I told the nurse when we had our last baby, she's a baby making gangster.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to go through having 1. So to have 4 in like 4 years is wild.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry to interrupt what you were saying.
I mean, it's okay. I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah,
the giveaway.
So one of the giveaways was for a collector's edition of, I guess, of your choice. It was for Shadows of Nyn'Dira, but if you don't have Shadows of, or if you don't have the other 2, you can choose. But that was if you shared that you have. I saw that. If you shared that you pre-ordered Shadows of Nyn'Dira, I would put you into the drawing for a free collector's edition. And the winner of that, and I don't think I know the last name, but it's Benny, and I know who Benny knows who he is. So say me here so we can put you on the screen. I know who Benny is. I don't know who his last name is.
So how did they get in? Just sign up kind of deal, or
they
like
just needed to? Yeah, they just needed to pre-order Shadows of Nyn'Dira and just let me know. I didn't need proof, so I mean, people could have lied about it, I guess. But
what I understand, these special editions are like incredible. So what's in your special? Yes, please, thank you. I love that.
So y'all, Shadows of Nyn'Dira special edition is getting here tomorrow, so I cannot show it off.
Mañana for the Spanish folks.
I'm going to either do a live on my channel or I'm going to do a video because it's going to be gorgeous. So these are hardbacks. So they're the only hardbacks that I have. It comes with a dust jacket.
Which is, by the way, being an indie author, that's not something you usually get with a hardback.
No. And Amazon does not do them. And I personally hate hardbacks with it printed. It looks like a textbook to me. I don't know. I don't like it. So I know some of them, like some authors do it and they're gorgeous. It's just, I don't want them. So I don't have hardbacks, sorry. I'm trying to get them into Silverstones though. So hopefully soon I can have just the regular hardbacks exclusive for Silverstone and Broken Binding. That's what I'm trying
Nice.
to do. But for now, these are the only hardbacks that I have and they're gorgeous. So you do get extra features in your collector's edition. I have art all over the place. So here's a Feel Wanted poster that they talk about in the book. You get like a full page map. In book 3, you actually get the 2-page spread of the human map. And then
now that's also rare. A two page spread of a
Yeah,
map. I
I did
love
this all
that.
my own. I didn't even know this was rare, but apparently, like,
It
not
is.
very many.
You usually get like one page. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like one of these bad boys.
Yes,
So
exactly.
in Shadows of Nyn'Dira, you'll get the full human map, but the humans and the elves, they don't coexist. They actually kind of hate each other. So they don't really know much about the other's customs because this is more like a medieval time period. So the humans have their own map and the elves have a separate map that where if you look at my map, Nyn'Dira is empty where the elves live, and then on the elven map, this area is empty because they don't know where anything is because they don't go there.
Sure.
So you get this map, and then on the next page you'll have the full Elvish map written with Elvish words, like everything's written in Elvish. It's really cool.
That's dope.
So, and then another thing that everybody really seems to love, which works for me because they were really fun to do, are annotations. So I put
yes,
author.
I love that.
They are like sprinkled. Let's see. So like this one, for example, it says thoughts from the author. Fun fact: Eberd is just the word bard with an eb added to the prefix. I couldn't think of anything creative, so I just went with it as a filler, and it stuck.
Honest, guys. It's honest.
So Loric's name is Eberd, which is just bard with an eb at the beginning. There's a lot of custom art. I hired an artist to do some artwork. So like here are some swords. One of the characters uses magical swords, so I had them draw a picture. And then I have a bunch of, Charlie, he can talk about it. Talk about it, Charlie. He's got my collector's edition.
Yeah, he says, yep, special editions are epic. I have the first two. And then my boy, I have to get to his question. Nick Horvath, who has a wonderful debut book. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even believe it was his debut. Sledge versus the Labyrinth. You guys got to check that out. Boy, some punchy prose. If you guys like noir, like Max Payne feel, I loved it. So good.
Yes.
It's amazing. But he says, how'd you do the dust jacket? So maybe
Ingram
tell it, because Ingram Sparks. Okay.
They're horrible. They're the absolute worst company, but they're the only thing we got. So you got to use them. So I did not do these. Actually, I did through Lulu, but they're really expensive. These are $24 a book, and that does not include shipping. Yeah, for me.
Wow.
So I have to pay $24 per book for these, and then that doesn't include shipping them to me, and that does not include shipping them out. It's really expensive. Ingram Spark is only $15 a book, and it's like $4 for shipping. So, and that's like $4 to ship like a bunch of them together.
So to put that in perspective, guys, because I hear this a lot, when an indie author sells a hardback with a dust cover, a dust jacket for $35, they have to.
Yeah, I sometimes lose money selling my collector's editions because they're just so expensive. But I want to get them out. I want people to have something nice, so I'll take the hit. And sometimes like the shipping kind of depends. So sometimes I can make like $1 or $2, and sometimes I'll lose $1 or $2. So I kind of break even honestly with them. They're $35, and I break even. So now I'm going through Ingram Spark, and it's a lot cheaper. But I'm still waiting on them, and I submitted my book over a month ago. So now my book, which was supposed to go out to everybody before the release, is now going to come out like a month after the release. So I'm really upset about it.
Well, just so you know, if you do like a video, send it to me. I'll put it on the channel. Whatever I got to do. I love it. So absolutely.
Yay!
I'd be happy to.
I'll be doing that. I will. So
awesome.
So in the book also we have a bard, and he's writing a story. In one of the chapters, like in the exposition, like he's writing a story, and him and Nyn'Dira argue about the story that he's writing. So I actually wrote out the story that he wrote, and then I have marked out like where she told him to mark out. So it's just like illustrated stuff like that all through the books, just like different stuff. I don't know.
I like what Alex says here real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to make sure to put his comment up here. HC's love for her own series is contagious. No one else makes sure their series is as new reader friendly as HC does. I agree with him. You do your work as I told my wife, because she's got a marketing brain, that you have a marketing brain. I think you do well with that.
I was talking to Josh. I don't even know if he's still here, but I was talking to Josh a while ago because he was like, "What do you do to market? How do you market your book so well?" And I'm like, "I don't even market at all." He's like, "Girl, you're on social media constantly.
Yeah,
You're
you
marketing
are.
all the time." I'm like, "I guess it just comes naturally because I don't even feel like I market ever. Like I don't ever feel like I do."
Yeah, he's still here. He says Ingram is so slow.
Ingram is the devil's anus. I'm just gonna say
The
it.
devil's anus,
It's
guys.
awful. I hate them so much.
And Charlie says something so wonderful. He says, "Don't stress, HC. We're happy to wait."
Thank you. Charlie's been so nice because I keep like getting so insecure and apologizing to him about it. And he's so nice every time. But I let everybody know. I'm like, I'll give you an ebook. Just please. I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
And I like this. JP Anderson's Lulus are so much better, though.
I have an Ingram Spark print of my first book because I went with them first, and the pages are see-through. So I just didn't even use it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with my, you know what? I'm going to show y'all.
Andy Peliquin in the house, one of my favorite people ever. I just wanted to make sure to say that, my dude.
Hi, Andy.
Yeah, that's my guy. It's funny because if I have a question, like an honest question, like a friend to friend kind of thing, it's him that I go to. That's my guy. So y'all go check his books out. I know that you already have.
I see him everywhere, all over Instagram and stuff. He's really cool. Yep. It's really awesome. It's really cool that he's in my chat.
Yes, it's super dope.
So in the collector's edition, I also put some added bonuses in the back. In book 3, I have character interviews, which are... Hey, you can't use my name. Look at you. But like, so I have like character art in here, and if you can see, like, you can't even see it in this, but look, like you can see like the thing through her face.
Okay, so that's Lulu.
This is Ingram Spark.
Okay, Ingram Spark. Okay, I was confused because the last comment was for Lulu. Okay, I got you.
No, we were talking about how Ingram Spark is the devil and their books aren't as good as Lulu, but Lulu costs a lot more for a good reason because Lulu's a lot better. But, you know, I can't afford them. So
No. It sounds $24 for a dust jacket. It just sounds like a lot. You know, I don't know what goes into that as far as what the materials they use, so I can't really give it a super honest
well,
opinion.
If Ingram can do it for 15, they can do it for 15. You know, that's all. Like, you know, if they're gonna, if another company can do it for half the price, I'm sure they can figure out a way to make it a little more affordable.
Andy says, I've got Fallen Light on my Kindle to read ASAP, which is likely sometimes in the next 12 days to 20 or 12,000 years.
Hey, as long as it's on there to read. I like how ASAP is 12,000 years.
That's so him.
I had another contest. I don't know if we were gonna.
Please, yes, throw it out there.
I can't believe we've only been here for 37 minutes. Like I feel like we've been doing this for so long. Like I don't know.
I don't know. It always goes so fast for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like 10 minutes.
So much stuff in like such a short amount of time. It's kind of weird.
Yep.
Anyways, so the next winner. So Benny, and I don't know if he is still here.
Benny.
I have to reach out to him personally. So if your name is Benjamin, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name, but don't get too excited because it might not be you if your name is Benjamin. It's Benny, and he knows I call him Benny.
That's my second son's name, by the way. So wonderful.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's my nephew's name is Benjamin, and I call him Benny.
Such a good. Yeah. I feel it.
My second contest was for a Fallen Light mug. And it looks like this one. John
support. He talks about his all the time. I've seen him on lives with his mug and all that fun stuff.
I'm gonna have to send him another one or something because his thing was so tiny.
Well, the guy drinks so much coffee that it's probably worn off a little bit, but you know.
Well, it'll look like this, and it'll have Fallen Light or some kind of brotherhood quote or something on the back. Excuse me. And that contest was for anyone who shared their yes, there he is. Benny's the winner. Yay!
Yeah. Benny, you're the man.
I literally just sent him a signed paperback of Curse of the Fallen the other day.
He's a #1 fanboy.
So and then if you shared a picture of your ebook, like even just a screenshot of it, just anything to kind of share to let people know, because obviously the more people see my book, the more people are going to be interested in it, the more they're going to want to know about it.
100%.
So I'm like, please share my book, share it, share it, share it. You can get into a contest, and that winner is Schwabi.
Schwabi, my guy Schwabi. You don't know, but you're my guy already. You're my dude. We have to meet soon.
Yes, Schwab stick. I don't know.
Alex, real quick. Alex says, do you already have any characters in mind who haven't appeared yet in the series but will be in the future?
I have one.
Okay.
And she is actually mentioned in one of the epigraphs in Shadows of Nyn'Dira. And I don't plan for her to come into the story, maybe book 4, but for sure by book 5. Her name is Eve. And so look out for her name in the epigraphs. So she's in that. And then I do have a character in book 3. He only shows up once. But he may make another appearance later in the series, but he does only show up once. Some people don't like this, and I think I've said this before, but I don't like to just introduce characters and they are just in the books. I hate that because that's not realistic. It's not real life, and obviously this is fantasy, but I can do what I want with my book. And
absolutely,
I just think it's more realistic whenever people come and go. Like some people are going to leave the group. Some people are going to like, you'll meet someone and you won't even know that you've met them until they come back later. And you're like, oh, I met you before. So there are people that come in and they may be important and they may not. And there are some people who are important that come in that leave forever. So
Jay Schwab, I'm assuming this is the winner, right?
Schwabe!
He's here in the flesh. I love the beard. Wonderful beard you've got going. I know some things about beards, and you've got a great one. And Charlie also says he's getting physical here. I think there could be a cage fight to the death for the title of #1 fan.
Charles, listen. He doesn't even call me his #1 BFF. I'm number 2. So don't even get me started.
So
we fought over this. Me and Bo fought over Sadir, and he won. He got Sadir, but I got Charlie, and Charlie wanted to call me his #1 BFF. It's the
Well, we'll leave that between you two because I can't get involved. I can't do that.
I'm coming for you, Charlie.
The E in EC Greaves stands for Benjamin. No way.
BC.
I love my guy. Yes, I'm thankful for your presence. Ed, I'm gonna call you Ed because we're like that. We're on first name basis here. So yeah, we've kind of got to it. It seems so quick. I can't believe we've been on here for 42 minutes. But what's kind of next for you?
Well, I want to play Would Rather. How many people are in my chat?
Right now, there's 20 people.
What?
Not in the chat, but that are watching.
20 people. I feel famous. 20 people. I ain't nothing.
You are.
I feel so famous.
We've had like 30 at one point. So yeah, the numbers are going up as we do this. So it's wonderful. Yes. And there's so many people who will watch this afterwards too. More so. But the real winners are here right now.
Yes, you are my peoples.
And Charlie says, you are my #1 BFF, of course.
Yeah. Don't butter me up now. So what's next? Right now I'm working on the prequel for Ayla. That's not going to come out until after book 4 though, but I want to do it because I kind of messed up. I did Avalok's novella between after book 2. And I really wish I would have written it before so I could have added some of those elements into book 2 to kind of make them connect. So I'm writing her prequel first so that any kind of lore or anything can be tied into the rest of the books and kind of be more seamless, I guess. And then I'm going to start working on book 4. I'm hoping. I've been talking to people about doing a Kickstarter for audiobooks.
Hey, look.
But
Rob J. Hayes just maxed out like 107, dude. It's like, that's not a bad idea.
Well, see, everybody likes omnibus or whatever they are, and I am not going to do one of those at least until I finish my series, and that's going to be a long time. But I really want audiobooks, and audiobooks are like $4,000 per.
They're expensive to produce, guys. So if you can't get mad at these indie authors who don't have.
No, they're extremely.
It takes time to get to that point. It does.
Yeah, and since I'm 3 books in, like is expensive. So I might do a Kickstarter for that. I just don't really know how well an audiobook one would do. So I'd have to kind of look into it a little more. But
Well, what about doing one of these things where, okay, so you have your next book coming out and you do a Kickstarter. This is just an idea. You've got it coming out, and if you reach a certain stage, tier, then you offer out. That's what Rob J. Hayes did. He didn't know how well his would do, and it reached a certain point, and he was like, okay, I can afford to do that now.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, but I was thinking of doing it for like audiobook for book 1, and then if I reach the second tier, audiobook for book 2, and this third tier, audiobook for book 3, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I really just need to look into it because I don't know how well, like I said, I don't know how well audiobook Kickstarters do. So I don't know. I have to see like what I can give away and stuff because obviously I'm gonna need those funds for the audiobook. I can't go printing off books and sending them out to people.
Yeah, I think that it most definitely should be, when you reach a certain tier, get people excited about the Kickstarter itself, the book that you're going to release. And once it hits a certain peak, you can afford those audiobooks. Because it's realistic part to this. As an indie author, you're hiring people. You're doing things yourself. It takes time. It's the reason that I choose to represent indie authors. It's so much work, and it's such a quality story. Most of the time, I can say that it's a quality story. It's good writing. I didn't think that I would find myself in this niche, if you will, but I love it. I just see it. It's fluent throughout the authors that I speak with. The hard work and the quality of the story that I read. It's wonderful.
And it's almost, a lot of times people ask me, how much do you make? Because I, like, for instance, I've sold 100 copies this month already. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh, so that's like at least $100 or that's at least like $1,000. Like I make like maybe $1 per book sale. Like it's very, very low. Yep. So that's why we can't really like afford to do all this extra stuff because, we have to pay for editors. And obviously you want to pay them because they deserve to be paid, but then we're making, pennies on the dollar for what we've been spending 10 years to create. So it's kind of almost unfair in a way, but that's just kind of how it is. There's just a lot of confusion from readers, I guess, with how much we are making because starving artist is true, people.
Yeah. So, well, what I truly believe is that, once it takes off, that's when, and it takes time to do that. It takes time to get people to see the book and much more than I can understand. It's just somebody who talks to somebody, but
it takes a while. And, the more books you have out, obviously the more sales you're going to get. And I try to remind people of that because I do have a lot of people asking me like, how do you sell so many books? What do you do? And I'm like, I have 4 books out. Like if I only had 1 book out, I wouldn't have this many sales because they only have 1 book out and they're comparing themselves to me. And I'm like, you can't do that because I was not making this many sales with 1 book. So it takes time for sure.
Laura Huey says, TV gives the illusion that authors roll in the cash. We can rest years between books too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I read, because right now Amazon is actually the best place to get books from indie authors because they give us the best royalties. I think we get like 60%, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I think 70% for ebooks and 60% for print books, but I still only get like $1. That's for
another indie author. So you guys got to trust the input here. He's another indie author. So
and that's for if you do KU. But I mean, at least that's like kind of KU is good, I guess, which is Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of passive income. Because if I have Kindle Unlimited, I'm probably not going to buy a Kindle book. I'm going to get it if it's on Kindle Unlimited. That's why I have it. So, But just so you guys know, we only get paid the first time you read it. So if you read it again, we don't get paid again. So some people think that they can just keep reading it and keep helping us, and it doesn't. I mean, it's fine. It helps us, but.
Laura is another indie author, and so she's got the numbers: 70% Amazon, 60% other vendors.
Yeah, I know Ingram Spark. They do 45% royalties.
So, Charlie, I love your message. I tout it very, very often. Yep, that's an important message. Indie authors need our support. I 100,000% agree.
We do.
And Nick says the grind is real. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So real quick, my wife ordered me a book, and it just so happens that it was from HC Newell. So she special shipped me a package really quick. It was super fast. And I'm not waiting until my birthday. This is a birthday present. So I'm gonna open it real quick. Keep the people busy as I open this.
Let's play Would You Rather. I really want to. So this is Fallen Light inspired, even though I think he's gonna interrupt our game. But would you rather live in a steampunk or medieval fantasy world? And yes, I do have steampunk in my desert area in book 2.
So first, I have to hold this up because I just seen this. This is for my wife, which was very nice. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. She's awesome.
And I'm so pumped. I finally, I hope you guys can see it. Curse of the Fallen.
Like,
yeah, I've got the green screen going, so it's not going to be.
Face, you can see it.
Oh my goodness! It looks so pretty.
Look go to the page before that. Go to the page before that.
Bear with me.
No.
No.
Page. Maybe it's the very, very first page. It says "Happy Birthday" on the top.
Oh my goodness! I see it now. Oh, that's like a special put-in page.
Yeah. And,
well,
it's like a sticker page, but look, all the people we
Laura Huey. We have EC, Tim Wolf, TJ McKay, Charlie. Wow, guys.
And then if you go through a little more, you'll see the page that I signed, and there's a couple more in there too. I was gonna handwrite them all, but everybody gave me paragraphs to write, so I typed it out.
Oh my goodness, I am so just blown away with the first page that is on here. Wow. Thank you guys. That seriously means so much to me.
Well,
that is incredible. You. I'm speechless. I had no idea that was going to be in here. I am absolutely speechless.
That you need to check out. Let me see. In your book. It's funny that somebody asked about the zombies. I'm pretty sure this is in your book. If you go to page 167, pretty sure that's the one that you got. I hope it is. You might have to flip through the book.
Almost there, fellas and ladies. Okay, 167.
So you have the
insert?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
That is incredible. I love that. Look at it's so nasty.
It's so funny when somebody mentioned the zombies. I was like, oh, he's got one in his book.
That's it. Man, I am so pumped. So thank you guys for who contributed to this. I had this absolutely nuts, dude. Thank you guys, seriously. I'm very happy. I'm very touched at the people who put their. I can't wait to read it. There's so many different messages in here on this first page that I can't wait to read. Yes, thank you so much.
That you love it. Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll be 33 on the 14th. I'm getting old, guys.
Oh God.
So kind of getting back to why we're here. Again, thank you. That was amazing. Where can people get your novels and special editions, and how long will they be out and all that fun stuff?
You can get my books on Amazon. You can get signed paperbacks at hcnewell.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the collector's editions are only available for a limited time during release. And those were supposed to stop going on sale on November 1st, but I'm just going to wait until Ingram Spark actually sends me a proof. And then, well, all credit goes to Mrs. Beardy. This was all her.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, she kept the secret. That was wonderful.
No, we coordinated this like it was all her.
That's incredible.
But I'm just going to keep the pre-orders for the collector's editions open until Ingram Spark finally sends me my proof. And then once I can approve that, then I'm going to close them out. So right now they're still open. They're probably going to close sometime this week. So if you want one, then you need to grab one. I'm also putting a hardback of The Banished on there as well. I should be getting that proof soon. So just be on the lookout. It's hcnewell.com. You can find my interactive map. You can find all that fun stuff. But we're going to end this with Would You Rather, because I have fun with this. And I like that Josh said he would rather.
I was so unaware of that message you sent me. I'm so sorry. So yes, please go into it.
I'm like, no, I'm too excited. I really did make out a Would You Rather that is based on my books. And I'm like, I have to play it.
Let's do it.
I'm too excited about it. It's so funny.
You can't not do it, right?
That's right. And I like how Josh, I did read his comment. He said that he would want to be steampunk because he would be a peasant in medieval times.
Oh, I can't see you as a peasant, man. You'd be like the guy that I see him as like a guy that delivers messages. The garrison, I think.
Yeah, like the courier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that. See, me and my husband, we talk about like stuff like that. Like if we lived in medieval times or in Skyrim, like what would we want to be? And he, of course, would want to be an assassin and just sneaking around doing cool stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I'd probably be dead in the first 2 seconds of my life because I'm not capable of anything. Okay,
That's
so
hilarious.
Second question. Would you rather be an elemental sorcerer or a shapeshifter?
Ooh, shapeshifter for me.
Shapeshifter would be cool.
I think the shapeshifter, I would go into like a wolf. I know that's a popular one.
Oh yeah.
An orc. I just seen John pop up here, and I know he's a. Let's see. I've unfortunately got my wallet closed due to kids in Christmas, but I've got your books that Beard gifted me.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Somebody, I don't know what it is, but when people gift each other my books, it just makes me like so happy. I don't know why. Like somebody was like, I got your book for my birthday. And I'm just like, that's so cool.
Yeah, because not only are you getting another reader, but somebody who thought so much of the book that they read to gift it to somebody. And when you give something, it's like the most positive message you can give.
Yeah, that has to. Yeah, that's a good way. I would shapeshift into an elemental sorcerer.
Where's that? Oh, there he is, Tim Wolf, my guy. Yeah, I would shape. That's a little redundant, I guess, in this question.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer the first one. I would be in medieval times, even though I definitely die very, very quickly. But I would be a bard if I could. I would have a guard. My husband assassin would be my guard.
There you go.
And I would definitely be an elemental sorcerer. That'd be so cool. Shapeshifter would be really cool too, though. But
yeah, I just want to like see somebody's face as I change form right in front of their eyes, like especially like an enemy that's coming at me, they're gonna take me over. I'm gonna show them something.
Like change into like a puppy. They're never gonna hurt you. Like there's no way. Like
that's totally the opposite of where I was going with that puppy. Come on now, I'm going into like just like straight demonic.
Yeah, like dragon.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip your face off.
You're thinking of like being able to hurt them, and I'm thinking of not being able to get hurt. See, like,
well, I think that if you need to be a shapeshifter, there's got to be a time where you're like, I like E.O. Montague's. Well, let's go to EC shapeshifter, so I could turn into somebody with lots of money and steal it. See, he's got the answers.
See, I'm thinking like animal shapeshifter. Y'all are thinking like Mystique shapeshifter. And if that's the case, I'd probably pick shapeshifter.
E.O. Montague. E.O. Montague says, I'd be a gangster whenever I landed.
Shapeshift into a gangster.
Straight up. Gangster. Like, hey, I'm here to ruin your day, buddy. Give me your wallet.
All right. Be a human. Would you rather be a human, elf, halfling, or an orc?
Orc. And I'm not even saying that because I like John and what he's doing. I love the orcs. And I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. I kind of look like one already. I'm just going with one.
And I'm not talking Lord of the Rings orcs. I mean, you can choose whatever orc you want. I'm thinking more like D&D, like just big barbarian, tusks.
Yeah, exactly. I have tusks that go down like way past my beard and don't mess with me kind of deal.
That's right.
So, Ed or EC Greaves would be
He playing it close, playing the system. I
think those would be quarters. Those would be quarters.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you. EC, you're the only one. Somehow you're half of everything.
Ooh, I like this. Benjamin says Viking elf. Yes, dude.
Yes, you're gonna fit into my world just fine. Got my Nordic elves.
Yes, 100%. I love it.
Okay.
And he's not a human, so he's gonna change into a human.
Oh, there you go. That works.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you like dragons or dire wolves?
Ooh, dragons.
Thanks,
Definitely.
Schwabi.
Yes, thank you so much for dropping in, brother. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you come back.
Oh, I think Pip chose an orc in the last one. I would choose an elf. Y'all know I love elves. Can't help it.
John Douglas, orcs never kneel. Hail the Black Crown, which is his newest. It's not out yet, but it's going to be soon. You can pre-order it through Amazon right now. I did his website, so I think it's pretty cool. Go to johnnydouglas.com. Check it out. It's going to be badass. His cover's already badass. So yeah. Laura Huey, dragons. I figured such. The Sovereign. I can't say the exact name because it's not in front of me right now, but I know there's Sovereign and there's Sunset of Sovereign. I think Sovereign of the Sunset, something like that. She's got a wonderful cover. It's got a dragon on it and like this sunset. It's very beautiful.
Oh, I need to see that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Really cool.
Sovereign and the Sunset, you said?
Yeah. Please message with the name of your book because the people.
There it is. The Sunset Sovereign, a dragon's memoir.
The Sunset Sovereign. It's gorgeous.
I like Charlie's answer. I'd be a short orc.
A short orc. Well, hey, it is what I'd be like one of those monstrous orcs, just real ugly and like has some stuff dripping off his tusk. Just some stuff. You don't know what it is.
I was like slide stuff. I would pick dragons, even though I absolutely love direwolves, but nothing beats a dragon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I do have dragons in my books, just so y'all know. A lot of people don't remember them, but they're in there.
1 week till the release of the Black Crown, John Douglas. Ooh. Thank you for putting that.
Get it.
And that's the name officially of Laura Huey's book, The Sunset Sovereign, a dragon's That's what caught me, a dragon's memoir.
We're gonna look it up.
Love it. Yep.
Okay, a couple more. If y'all are still wanting to play, I do. So we're gonna
100%.
Would you rather see through the eyes of an animal or have an animal companion? So would you rather see through the eyes of an animal or have an animal companion?
Companion for me. I can't wait to see the answer because if you have a companion, one that you're truly close with, it's almost better because like you can distract somebody in a time of fighting. And he's got
like
your back.
Soul bond.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Yes, 100%.
But what if you're bonded with like a rat or something? Like, ugh.
Yeah, if you got a rat, the guy's got to go like up the pant leg.
Or like, what's just like a sloth? Like, you know what I mean?
A sloth, look, guys. If you've got a sloth, you're shit out of luck.
So it's just look at the draw on that one.
Joshua says, "See through the eyes is such a cool concept, though. Like Perrin and the Will." Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I got the idea.
But it's still not as badass as a companion, I think. Plague rat, bro.
Yeah, because EC's gonna be a plague rat in the medieval world, so he's gonna be with all his plague rat brothers.
Not only can he bite you, but he will leave his essence with you as you move on. Like you will die from this bite.
Perfect. I love it with his half elf, half orc, half wing, half humanish.
A magical being or a dog? Dragon. Okay.
Dragons.
I like that answer.
I do love some dragons. Okay. Like pets more than people.
One of the Benjamin says one of the earliest fantasy books I ever read had a cat companion. Okay.
People have actually asked me a long time ago. I have a little board over here. This is my board for like writing and brainstorming. And my niece came over and she drew a cat. It was not a cat, but it was a cat because she was 3. So I posted it on Facebook or something because it was just really cute. And I was like, she brainstormed it and everyone was like, you have to put cats in your book now. And I'm just like,
how do you figure? Like, are you writing it? Do you know the story? Like, I get it. Like, Charlie says though, ooh, good one. I have to be a companion. I agree with you, brother.
It would be really cool to see through the eyes of an animal, but
companion cockroach.
No, it says animal companion. I don't know if cockroaches are animals, but that would be my luck to get a cockroach.
Definitely an insect companion, but I I feel like if you have the power to have an animal companion, you definitely have the power to have an insect companion.
Yeah, that is very true. Okay. Would you rather have an ancient lute or a magical ocarina? Now, this magical ocarina, when you play it, it forces everyone around you to dance. Or would you rather have a really mysterious ancient lute from the ancient people that are now gone? I would rather
I'm
have an
reading.
animal companion. I don't know if that's the answer to that question.
Sorry, I was reading. Actually, Laura Huey is number one on my happy birthday list. I can't wait to read these guys. That's amazing. But yeah, the question that you just asked, I don't know. What's the word that you said in the second?
So the
Ocarina.
first one is an ancient lute, and it's just a lute that came from the ancient peoples that are now gone. It
Mhm.
doesn't really do anything special. It's just ancient, and it belonged to like a mysterious race. And then the magical ocarina, if you play it, everyone around you is forced to dance. So, and by the way, this is tailored to my books, so everything I'm saying to you guys right now shows up in my books at some point.
All
That does
right.
include the steampunk. That does include the magical ocarinas.
Noah has met a pangolin animal companion. I intend to remedy this mistake one day.
John, my cousin, she didn't finish her book, but me and her used to write books together when we were kids, and she had pangolins in her book, and they were the animal companions, and they would ride them into battle, and they would make armor out of their scales and stuff. It was really cool. I was like, "What's a pangolin?" And she was like, "I don't know, but they roll into battle." Like,
I have to look that
you
up
can
now
use those
because I
in
don't
books.
know.
I gave you permission to use her ideas.
Daniel Klauser, thank you for being here. He says, I've been researching cat hybrids recently and watched a bunch of videos of ligers, and yes, those are real people, and stuff. And those things are wild. I cannot think of a reasonable way to put a liger in a book, but someone should. I think there's a place and time for a liger.
Yeah.
They do exist, and you should check them out on YouTube if you haven't.
It's kind of like an Avatar Last Airbender thing in a way. Like maybe if all of the animals were like hybrids, because in Avatar, every animal's a hybrid of something.
Sure. Well,
So-
still, even today, that's true. I mean, evolution has taken its toll on absolutely every
Oh my
species
God.
that you know of.
All the animals are getting smarter and all the people are getting dumber. They're going to take us.
That's probably true. EC says, I'll take the loot, but I prefer loot.
Yeah. But I read that as I'll take the ocarina at first, and I thought you just misspelled loot.
He's really tricky in his answers, so he's usually over my head. He's such a intelligent guy. So
intelligent isn't really the word I would use.
Oh, man.
Ancient loot. There you go. See, that's perfect.
Make him dance, Benjamin says. Make him dance.
Okay. Would you rather have a direwolf, raven, fox, or elk companion?
Elk, 100%. I'm a
Direwolf,
guy like
raven, fox, or elk.
you see an elk walking through you just know that an elk will completely stomp you to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't play any
and...
games. They are huge, magnificent creatures. And if you've never seen one in person, well, you should, because you will change your mind about them. That's not some deer.
I think I'd be more afraid of a direwolf than an elk, though, gotta say.
It'd be close, because I've seen what an elk can do. An elk, they stand like 7 feet tall, and they will stomp your guts out. No joke. But a direwolf has teeth. So
yeah, they're huge wolves.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall. I can never remember how tall my direwolves are. I think she's like 5'7". Sorry, I don't know the conversion for that, but she's like 5'7". And I believe the direwolf companion in my books, like when he stands up, he goes to her shoulder, like the top of his head goes to her shoulder. So he's really big.
Mm-hmm. How tall are you?
Me, I'm 5'4".
5'4". Okay, so the direwolf's kind of short then.
I mean, I guess.
I'm just joking.
Sure.
Was it a giant raven? Let's see. Was it a giant raven or like a regular shitty bird?
Listen, EC. He's a beautiful raven that's normal sized. Can we kick him out?
Never. All around, an orcish bard who loves to play his lute with a direwolf, animal companion. He can ride when needed.
I like that idea. Gotta get a saddle for your direwolf. I love it.
Absolutely. That's all very imagination invoking talk, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that I didn't answer those before because, like I said, I seen those questions that you sent me like right before this. And I'm
That's okay.
but are there any more of them? Was that it?
There's one more, and I'll put it in the chat because it's kind of long. But this one's just picking your position in the group. Okay, so you're picking your position in the group, and I'll read it out loud too. Oh no, this is not working out. Ah! Oh, that's ugly.
I feel you, Daniel. He says, "I think I'm too large to ride a direwolf. I'm 6'5". What are you?"
I don't think so.
HC. Okay, so this is the question. Pick your position
It's
in
not
the
working.
group. Okay, here we go. Pick your position in the group. Sorcerer of Chaos, Sorcerer of Light, Assassin. Will you read it?
Yeah, let me send another one because I can't do it like in one line. This chat is kind of long.
I get it.
So I'm sending another
I
one.
totally get it.
Here we go. That one might be easier to read.
Yeah. Once it pops up here, I will put it up. Usually takes a second. There we go.
Now remember, if you're the Sorcerer of Light, you cannot fall to the darkness. It's very, very not a good fate. I would not want to be a Sorcerer of Light.
So
you have to fight
pick your position in the group. Sorcerer of Chaos, Sorcerer of Light, Assassin, Teleporting Spear Fighter, Archer, Scholar, or Barbarian.
So pick.
I'm going to be a Barbarian.
Oh yeah, you want to be the orc.
Yeah.
That's definitely the orcish character in my books, obviously. And then
so we've got
Sorcerer. Ooh, Sorcerer of Chaos.
My dude Ganesh. Yeah, thank you for being here, Ganesh.
Pip's my boy. Teleporting's awesome. Now, I was going to try to explain this teleporting spear fighter. He can only teleport in small distal jumps at a time. You can't go across the world. You can only go like 10 feet at a time.
This question's
it's
deep,
really,
folks.
really good for fighting. It's not really good for like traveling.
Tim Wolf, he says, Sorcerer of Light.
Y'all read my books, y'all not be agreeing with yourselves right now. That's like one of the last ones I would want to be. The Sorcerer of Light.
Like poof, you pop into McDonald's, poof, pop out without paying.
I like that it's McDonald's. Yeah, it's not like somewhere good, like Ruth's Chris or I don't know.
Yeah. I love McDonald's. I know that's kind of like the hot take. Hey, listen, I could eat McDonald's every day of the week, fellas and ladies.
I mean, I'm not knocking on McDonald's. I'm just saying, if I had teleporting, I was going to steal something. It'd cost more than $5. Okay?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm going to like I don't know where, but somewhere much better.
Like whatever place has like a $400 steak. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. How dare anybody charge that much for a steak, though?
Teleport into people.
How dare them? Yeah, dude. Tim McKay, McDonald's breakfast all the way, dude.
Okay,
sausage egg McMuffin, yes.
We're adding another question to this, and that is, does McDonald's have bagels where you live? Because they took them away from me, and they're adding them back around places. But my town does not have them still, and I'm upset.
I get them a couple times a week. In fact, I love those. The steak bagels in the morning are my favorite.
So upset.
Extra breakfast sauce.
Bagels away too. Like, Chick-fil-A took their bagels away too. I'm like, stop taking my own stuff I like.
Charlie says, like it is. That's Mary Vice, the boy's toy. Yes, Tim's in charge. What else did he say? I don't know the context of that. I teleport into people.
I love
Leave the spirit home.
Just right into them. Just rip them open. That's so gross.
Best is hash browns. Hey, yes, with some salt and some ketchup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tim has an answer to your question. No bagels for a while, but they did last year. Bastards took it away.
We haven't had bagels at our McDonald's in like 5 years.
Bastards.
The Taco Bell here, it's not good. And they take like 35 minutes every time we go there. Like the lines last so long. Like I don't know what happened to Taco Bell. At least here, it's gone so downhill and it's really disappointing. And it's like $2.50 for a taco now, which is absurd.
It is absurd. I remember like the 99-cent days back in like 2010. 2009 is when I graduated. I'm old, I know.
Yeah, I graduated in 2010, and we would go to Taco Bell after school because the tacos were like 30 cents a piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and now
cheese roll-ups.
Like, I went to Taco Bell the other day, and we got, like, 6 tacos and a drink, and it was, like, $18. Are you kidding me?
Every time me and my wife go, and the kids usually don't eat a whole lot because they're just, I don't know, they're at that stage where they don't want to eat. And it's like $16, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's
for Taco Bell.
crazy.
I went to Arby's the other day, and we're just getting off on this whole tangent, but I went to Arby's the other day, and I just got a regular medium-sized meal, and my husband got a
Mm.
regular medium-sized meal, just like and it was $30.
Wow.
I'm like,
Well,
are
how
you
dare them?
Yeah, and
We
then,
got
like
we got to have like picket signs and shit like right outside. How
yeah,
dare you
and
charge so much for roast beef? That cheddar's not even real.
like, whenever they said the total, me I just looked at each other like, we could have gone to, like, I don't know, somewhere nice for this,
Yeah.
like a
It's the
sit-down
same
restaurant.
thing I've said to my wife. Like, we could have went to like a steak place and maybe like $5 more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, I'd rather spend the extra $10 and get something nice rather than get Arby's.
The trick is to be super.
Oh, I feel
I
that. Be super poor. Can't afford Taco Bell. That's me.
Okay, so we've covered your have we covered your links? No, we haven't. So let's let the people know where you're active, where they can get your books. Or have we covered that?
We did. You can get them on Amazon. Amazon is the best place to get my books right now. I do make the most profit off of there, so you can get them from there. And you can also get signed paperbacks on my website. And you can still order the collector's edition for book 1, 2, and 3. I'm also putting the Banished hardback. It's not a collector's, but it will be a hardback.
Wow.
That will be on there soon. It's not yet, but I'll have that. The
I'm gonna
hardbacks
take
are
the sticker
$35
off
a
here.
piece.
That's the Banished, guys.
Yeah, it's
That's so
good.
cool.
The Banished
So
was I wrote that before I wrote book 3, and that was kind of the turning point because I literally had no plans for the Banished. I just wrote it, and I wrote that book in like 10 hours, and it is
oh
just what it
wow.
is. Yeah, it just
So
uh
so as far as the reading order goes, can we read this at any time?
no. And if you
Okay.
open it, it actually tells you the reading order. All of my books
Okay.
have the reading order listed inside of the book. It says to be read after the Forbidden Realms. So if you ever get confused, you can always look in the beginning of the books. It does have the order in there for you. Or Amazon also tells you if it's book 1, book 2, 2.5. I think The Banished is listed as book 3 on Amazon because it wasn't showing it unless I listed it as book 3. It's kind of stupid.
I think it's so cool that you've got like the forthcoming books in here. A Storm of Sorrows, The Child of Sky, Ashes of the Fallen, and The Brave and the Broken as far as short stories. That's awesome. Those are great titles, by the way.
Thank you. It took me forever. I was gonna show y'all what my cover looked like because my book was called The Trials of Namichelle or something stupid like that before I published. I'm so glad I didn't go with that. But yeah, if I had to fight one of my characters, who would it be, and do you think you could win? If I had to fight one of the characters, it would be Talon because Talon is not a fighter, and no, I do not think I would win.
It's so funny. He asks that question a lot, and I always put it up as long as I see it. And it's
So,
always like the worst person in the book, and no, I still wouldn't win.
John, do you like playing the who would win in a fight games? Because me and my husband, when we go on road trips, we play it every time. It's the who would win in a fight, and we do it throughout. It's like this person or that person in our family, this person and that video game character, like this actor and that actor, their characters.
I have to have your husband on here. I think that we would get along. I have to talk with him. It's like, so how is it?
Me, you, your wife, and my husband. We all should just do a panel. Because I already
That
told
would
you,
be,
like,
dude.
I want to
That
get on
would be
with her.
super cool. Yes, if I ever talk my wife into coming in, because she is totally invited every time, guys. She knows this.
Well, I told her I invited her.
She told me. She said, "Let Beardy, because that's what you call me,
Yeah.
read the book, and then we'll all get on and talk about it." So until that happens, I am still trying to talk her into it. I think I can try to. I think I can do it.
You can do it.
Go read books. Matt Pittman, my guy, he says, I just read chapter 1 of Curse of the Fallen. What does a Drelet look like?
So this is what Gil looks like. Drellets are halflings. For some reason in my head, they look like dwarves. Like they look and sound exactly like Lord of the Ring dwarves, even though that's not all what they look like. They're kind of skinny. They're really frail. They're very hairy. They are really small. I think maybe like 3 feet tall is how tall they are. they're kind of like almost like hobbits in a way, I guess. They're not very attractive looking. But Gil, I have a picture of him. Here is Gil. If y'all can see that. So that is Gilbrick.
Yeah. He's a handsome son of a bitch, I'll tell you.
He got a nice beard.
He does. Hey,
but yeah, so drellids are really small, and I mean they're humans. Some people thought, because whenever Gil is first introduced, he is a drellid, which is a shapeshifter. That is a shape-shifting race, and whenever he is introduced, he is first a cat, and then he changes into himself. But I also say that he's hairy, so some people think he is like a cat person, but he's not. He's like a human. He looks like a human. I don't know if that's what Matt thought, but
no, I think he was just he probably when you go to her website, you get the first chapter for like as a sample, right?
And he has the books, so.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. I love that.
No excuse.
So not what I imagined, but I'm glad to know.
Yes,
I thought he was a cat person. All right.
I told you. Everybody thinks it, and I didn't even think of that whenever I wrote it. But everyone's gonna think I have like Khajiit in my books, and I don't.
That's funny.
That is funny.
So, goodness, this has been so much fun. It's really been one of those like natural conversations. We had so much fun with those questions that you asked at the end. Go get the books.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And it was a lot more people than normal, so that's wonderful. So go grab her books. Absolutely, you've heard some wonderful stuff. Just to reiterate, the special editions are available until when?
I'm gonna take them down soon, probably the end of this week. If not, then by the end of the month at most. I'm still waiting on my proof to come from the printer, and if I don't approve it, then I'm gonna have to wait longer. So I'm just waiting until I can get it approved, and then I'll make my final order. So I don't want to cut people off if they want to order it, because I don't even have the books yet. I can't even order them yet. So I'm just kind of keeping them open until I can place the bulk order, and then I'm closing them out. So I'll give everyone kind of a warning before that happens, but it will be soon. So, and all of them are coming off, and they will not be available until I release book 4 next year. So keep that in mind. If you want them, and you do want them, I promise they are awesome. Yeah. Then go and grab one. You don't have to get all of them. You can get 1, 2, or 3, or you can get all of them if you want to, whatever you want to do.
And the interactive map I've kind of played with while we were talking. I hadn't noticed it because it's in the extras, but go to the extras, guys. Right here is at the bottom where you can check the interactive map out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a freak over maps. I love maps.
I should probably to not say extras. Maybe I should say maps or something. So people.
Yeah. Put like a menu thing that just says map.
Yeah, I should probably do that and then it has all the downloadable stuff. You can download all the footnotes. You can download the glossary. Also, at the end of Curse of the Fallen, actually, at the end of all my books, there's a glossary. At the end of book 3, there is an Elvish translation guide. But then at the end in the collector's edition, we actually have pages from Ebert's journal. So I actually have like written out poems and stories and stuff that he wrote in his journal that he carries throughout the books. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of like little extra features and stuff in there. Like I told you, you really want these. They're awesome.
Yeah, they sound amazing because you put a lot of extra thought into these, and I can't wait to explore it. And it's going to be fun for anybody who grabs them. So go and do that. I've had such a good time. Thank you so much for asking me to do this.
Yeah, thank you. This was really fun. I'm so glad so many people were here. This was a lot of fun.
And thank you for the guys and gals that were chatting away and who watched live, and for those in the future, because there's always going to be people who really watch it over and over again in the future. It's so cool. Tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow. A.D. Landor. Here is a couple of I think they're the only books that he's dropped, and they're really beautiful. He's a wonderful writer, so he'll be on tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a wonderful time, and until next time, have a wonderful night.
Thank you.